going for your group so far?
Yeah, some good, some bad. It's kind of what you expect from spring ball, and uh, trying to do some, we talked about last week, right? Trying to, one, hammer fundamentals, but then, just mess around with a couple of little tweaks. And so, doing some of that today, and, just making sure the guys understand, hey, listen, when we do things like that, it's not going to be perfect. And, we'll get back to the film and we'll iron it out so that they can feel comfortable with it. But overall, the way they're competing, both sides of the ball, I think has been really productive.
Grant Godfrey was a guy you guys were really excited about in high school. Where is he at in his progress after missing his whole redshirt year basically with an injury? How does that kind of affect him?
Yeah, I mean, really what it does, right, it sort of puts you a little bit back to square one, except for the knowledge sort of that defense. Grant was always a guy that, we brought in that we thought could play sort of, outside and transition to inside. And, this spring, slid him inside. And I think he looks comfortable in there. I think even out of high school, we sort of thought ultimately that's where he'd probably end up. And he played a fair amount his senior year in there. He's doing some good things. Obviously, a year off of football and then sliding, like, you just have to let the game slow down a little bit inside there. But, he's made some really good plays thus far through, 5 practices. And, we'll just keep progressing in that regard. But still, really excited about what he brings in the future.
Another one of those same class, Nasir Addison. What have you seen from him so far? How's he progressing?
Yeah, the thing with Nasir is we need him to continue to finish. And saying it, like, he'll be the first one to stand up here and sort of admit that, in terms of, you play 90% of the play really good. You can't let off the gas the last 10%. You finish the play, whether it's you finish at the top of the route. You strain, even if the ball's thrown across, you strain with a couple of burst steps to show that you've seen the ball thrown. And a lot of that becomes trained for him. And every practice, like I stress to him that before practice starts, and he's gotten better and better and better every practice. But then it's, hey, listen, it can't be a step back, because at some point I shouldn't have to tell you. At some point you just got to do it yourself, and we're still progressing to that, where, hey, I'm still having to remind him, hey, listen, let's finish today. Hey, finish this period every time, every rep, right? Because he has all the ability, and when he does play full speed from start to finish on the play, it looks really good. But again, on Saturdays, I can't be out there. I can't be on the field. I can't, it has to become ingrained habit.
What would you say is the biggest transition you're trying to make with your defense this spring from last year?
I don't know if there's a biggest difference. I think it's a continual stress of, hey, listen, the margin for error between playing great defense and average defense is this small. It is. It's making a tackle one year and then not making it, say, last year. Dropping an interception when it should be an interception. Like, those plays change games. They change outcomes. It's wins and losses. It's keeping points off the board. Obviously, third down. We were really good 2 years ago on third down. They were only 33%. Last year in the 40s, not good enough. Now the back half of the season, we played better. The first half in third down was not. And so understanding those crucial moments are going to be what defines this season. And you don't know when those moments are going to happen. Obviously, third down you do, but then there could be a play on first or second down, and we had an opportunity to, hey, just punch the ball out, or we had an opportunity to have a sack, but we miss it. We don't add, like, all those little things, and it's like, oh, yeah, that was my mistake. Well, that one mistake can lead to big plays, and big momentum shifts. And so I think that's more the stress that, hey, listen, you've got to play every down, whether it's practice or in a game, full speed. And it goes back to that finish that we just talked about. And hey, listen, you can't just say, the ball was thrown away. Well, you know what? In a game, you might be the guy that gets the ball down. And now they have to put the ball down, and maybe they fumble the next snap. We've had plenty of those. You think about Youngstown State a couple years ago that preserved the shutout, that we had two guys strained, got them out at the 2-yard line, and then Carrington gets the pick, and it preserves the shutout. Like, that's got to be their mentality.
Is that harder in spring practice to have that focus on every play than a regular season?
Yes and no. And the reason I say not necessarily harder, and I know it, you're not playing a game, but what are you doing in spring? You're competing for a job. And you understand, hey, if coach is stressing this so much, when he's evaluating film, it's not just about my mistake, my physical mistake, right, or my misfit or my technique. Man, if he's judging me on my finish, my effort, on all of that as well, if I'm not doing that, then I'm probably not going to win that starting job, or I'm not going to win that backup job. And so there's sort of as much stress in spring for players, that, hey, listen, like, you're jockeying for position here. I tell everybody, our depth chart's in pencil. Like, you put it in pen, and now it gets really ugly, right? Trying to scratch it. Like, you put it in pencil. Hey, listen, you don't want to do it. I can erase your name, and I'm going to move the next guy up. And then, and so when you take that mentality as a player, I think it should drive you.
Brad, you had 3 safeties coming back who played a lot last year. So what did you want to get when you added Christie and Story to that group, that position?
4 safeties that have played a lot of football.
I mean, it's not always easy to attract a transfer coming into a room that has that much depth coming back.
Absolutely, and listen, you need it. You need it at as many positions as you can get it, and then especially at a position like that, because then, okay, you could play some 3 safety looks, right? And you have enough depth to do that. You can do multiple things. You can keep guys fresh and not wear them out. And ideally, that's what I'd like to do at essentially all our positions, where you've got enough depth that guys aren't having to play 70, snaps a game. We did a study up in Indy one year, and really, if you can play anywhere between sort of 40 and 50, that's kind of a sweet spot, even for upper-level elite players. Now, you get it. I mean, there's certain positions, and you're going to leave a guy on the field, and you're going to try. It'd be too hard to sort of take them off. But at some point, you've got to get guys breaks and rest. And if you can keep guys fresh and they can play fast, that's hard to deal with. And especially for guys that have significant SEC reps that can communicate, you can do a lot of different things without changing any other position. Those 4 guys, we can do some different things with them, and we can put some different stressors on them. Because we always say, hey, every play, somebody's got to wear the hat, right? Someone's got the bad down. And if you've got veteran guys and you can put some harder downs on those guys, same thing with Max, right? Is that, hey, listen, there's going to be some harder downs for him this year than maybe there were last year. Hey, if you, and he willingly wants it, you want to be that guy, then you're going to have some downs where you have to be that guy.
Are those safeties, placing Andrew and Nickel, is that a thing where maybe you can try them down there inside? Or?
Absolutely, yeah. And all of them, I think, have the ability to obviously play the zone coverage piece, but they've got good movement skills where they can play, the man piece as well.
You see those outside backers you've got so far?
You know what I like and I'm encouraged about is the effort and enthusiasm that they have and that they're playing with. And, going to, potentially, take even more sort of reins off, right? And just, let them pin their ears back a little bit more, at times, and we've got to be smart and, we'll help them with that. But I think that group's ready to take hopefully take the next step. Now you got to add on every day, onto what we're doing. But we've had an encouraging, sort of 5 days. I think last year they'd all sort of say there were plays that we left on the field. And this year the focus, and they understand because they got to hear it out of my voice every single day and every single meeting, is that those kind of plays are the ones that, leave you right in middling, right? Those are the plays we need to make this year, and they're expected to be made. And so that expectation is been known, and they want it, in that room.
Quickly, who's stepping up in Drew Phillips' position? It's a tough position to play, as we know.
Yeah, who I think's had a good 5 days, and you always got to be careful here, right? But you're always trying to be a jinx, we don't want to jinx him now. Is Jansen. JD's having a really good spring. JD, if you're listening, turn off your ears. Don't be listening. I think he's gaining that confidence. He's had the time in the system now to understand and to develop, and his length and his athleticism, is something that we can really use, and he can use to his advantage. And I think, like anything, we talked about it last week. You learn from mistakes, right? Probably you learn way more from your mistakes than you learn from your good plays. Everybody wants to watch their good plays because it makes them feel good, and it's hard to watch your bad plays, but you learn way more that way. And I think he's taken an approach where, hey, listen, just teach me off my bad plays. Teach me off my bad plays. Because that's the only way, as much as it hurts, as much as it stings, as much as it's hard to watch over and over and over, that's how you get better. And he's done that, and he's taken strides, in significant strides thus far.
All right, guys, Coach Stewart's
Thanks.
ready for you guys too.
And where you've never been shy before about pushing Dion to be elite, I assume that's still the message to him, but specifically, what does he work on this spring?
You know what? I think the big thing we got to work on his cardio. We got to work on continue to get his weight down. Would love to get him down to about maybe 325. Continue to get stronger and continue to use his hands. The technique. At the next level, you want to be elite, man. You got to be a technician, and you got to be mentally tough. And those are the things that we'll continue to work with Dion, so that when the season comes, he's ready to go, because he's a huge part of what we do.
He was a team captain last year, but how have you seen him kind of grow into that leader?
His leadership. His leadership. He's always encouraging guys, pushing guys. He's always around the building, which is great, so that everybody can see him. And Dion's, he's a little weird. He's like he's around everybody. He hangs out in the equipment room. He'll hang out in the treatment room. He just hangs out with he'll go in the video room and hang out with people. And that's just the type of guy that he is.
Brian Robinson's a guy who doesn't look like a mid-year enrollee as a freshman, but he's physically that way. What are your kind of expectations for him?
Well, we got to build his technique from the ground up. He's still very raw, like you said, but he's got a high ceiling. Very strong kid, very determined kid, has an unbelievable work ethic. Sometimes you just got to slow him down just a little bit so that he understands, the defense, the techniques and alignments that we're doing. But he's doing a really good job. He's always early, always leaves late. And when you have those type of qualities, that's a recipe for success.
We see him a lot on social media with his workouts and everything. Does that translate to the field, all that stuff?
It does. And I ask him why he doesn't download his food from the cafeteria. So I guess his dad doesn't cook it, so he doesn't want to put it on social media. But Brian is great. And you know what? Spring break, he worked his butt off. He didn't go anywhere. He stayed here and he worked his butt off, and because he wants to play. And I'm sure Coach White told y'all, we don't decide who plays. They decide who plays. And so the guys that every day comes out here and they continue to flash and they continue to show up, those are the guys that will get opportunities to play on Saturdays.
He talked about how important it is, like, being focused on every play and how that goes towards winning a position.
Yes, sir. And that's the thing, like, because every snap counts, right? Especially when you come in and you're a mid-year guy, most of the time you don't really get a lot of reps. So those reps have to matter. The more you do, the better you do, then, you gradually get more reps. And so right now, he and Gerard are getting a lot of reps. Tommy's getting a lot of reps, and it's great. I'm very excited about the future here. I'm very excited about the young guys that we have. Man, they're working. Coach Ed and Coach Hill's doing a great job also in the weight room with her, and it's translating over to the field, and that's what you want to see as a coach.
How do you evaluate Keyshawn's first year here, and then what's the next step for him now that he's played?
Keyshawn did some really good things for us. He did. I mean, he's a big, strong, athletic kid. He has a basketball background. Now it's you think like, okay, Keyshawn, you're really big. Let's see if we can lose some weight. But he's just so big. His legs are so big, and so now it's just about the weight room. It's about film. It's about coming early, leaving late, and just stressing my GA, hey, coach, hey, let's watch film, let's study this, let's watch that. And when those guys are hungry and passionate, those are the guys that end up playing on Sundays.
As well.
I mean, end of the day, football is football. So nothing since I got here was really new to me because, like I just said, ball is ball. Just the names of the defense is different, but once you get that down, ball is ball. Everything's the same. Cover 4 is the same. Cover 3 is the same. Man to man is the same. But you got to figure out what do they call it here and the name of it. And after that, you just roll. Because football is the same everywhere.
How are you?
A third of the way through spring ball, how do you evaluate where the defense is right now?
It's the third.
Yeah. Like 5 of 15.
It's moving fast. What was your question again?
How do you evaluate where you guys are as a defense right now?
You getting somewhere, ultimately, what I learned from the last 3 years is spring might not be your best phase. When I was at Georgia, we talked about the phases, and I think this must be phase 1 of it, summer, fall, winter, however the order goes. But this is kind of phase 1, so we got a lot to improve on. We got a long way to go. But for the beginning, it's a good start.
Do you approach this spring any differently than you have any of the past ones? With it being a transfer?
No. Actually, I'm trying to approach this one like I did going into my sophomore year. When Coach kept reminding me that no one knew me. Like I said, when I got here, I posted the chip got bigger. So that's what I'm trying to just do. Stay down, stay focused, and I'm trying to have a good season again. This is my last one. I'm trying to make it the best one.
You mentioned that it feels like it's gone fast. Is that a good sign when it feels that way?
Nah, just the day going by fast. So, practice is a little quicker here than I expected. But teams run it differently, and it depends what you're doing within the practice that make it seem that fast.
Partnership with you and Derek in the middle of that defense developing. What's the chemistry like between you guys?
Spent 2 months with each other. We kind of building it on. At first, we just it's third week of May. Third week of spring, second week, third week.
Second week, I think.
Second week of spring. So we getting there. Not the way we want it to be for the season, but like I said, this is only phase 1. We got like 4 more phases to go. And by the time the season get here, we'll be ready to go. And it's just not just me and D-Jack, because we rotating. You got to earn your spot. Nothing given to you. So me, D-Jack, and Devin, Alex, we've been rotating. You got to just connect with them off the field to connect with them on the field, and that's the part of it.
You being a senior, you have a lot of experience, but is
I'm
there
a senior?
anything this spring?
Damn.
Is there anything this spring that you personally just want to be better at?
Say it again.
Is there anything this spring that you're looking to be better at?
Than the last couple of springs, or
Yeah,
just
in
everything? You don't want to just lay your eyes on one part of the game to focus on. When we focus on that part, you might lose some to the other game. So I'm trying to get better at everything.
You mentioned the off-the-field stuff. How do you feel like you've meshed in with the guys that were already here?
We chill with each other. We talk, we FaceTime, we group text, we go out to eat sometimes, things like that. But we don't have enough time to do that. We got class, and we got workout. We got to wake up 5 a.m. So, boom.
Kind of a two-part question on what you're
Two-part?
seeing from the offense.
Okay.
First, what's this new scheme and system look like to you? And secondly, is there a guy you really enjoy competing against on the other side of the line every day?
Two people. I like Demi. We competing. Linebackers and running back, they go against each other. They're like always paired in their competition. They're like similarities on different sides of the ball. So the running back group, but Demi especially, and Brock. I tell Brock throw me picks like the old days. Just throw me some. But offense is just the same. They have all these motions to mess with your eyes, but if you key what you're supposed to be keying, it's the same. So ain't nothing different about the offense, unless like you start like getting in spread formations and stuff like that. But everything's the same. They're trying to cross and motions and backbacks and all that stuff. I hope you understand the terminology I'm using. So yeah, all of the same.
Can you see that being a problem for other defenses? All that motion?
It depends who you got on your team. Certain things might work on certain things, and what I learned from being in college ball is, other teams take explosive plays from other teams to put it in there to see if you can miss it again. So if your eyes is bad, you might miss it again, and not knowing they might copycat something, you might miss it again. So it depends on who you are as a player. If you tend to lock in and put your eyes in the right spot, you won't miss it. You key your terms and stay focused, you won't miss it.
Pop, there's been a lot of talk about Kentucky, just a physical brand of football. Obviously knew that going against them, but did that really stand out to you when y'all put the full pads on this week?
Yeah. Definitely physical. That's definitely what I expected when I got here. The physicality of the practice and of the men in the group, but definitely the physicality is there. It's still here. I'm just putting a little touch on it.
Brad talked about just your presence, just your. I think it was more talking about your experience.
Say it again, please.
Brad was just talking about just the presence you bring to the field, just kind of your leadership. Are you just taking that slow? Are you trying to be a leader on the defense, or are you just trying to find your place?
No, I just got here.
Yeah.
So like I always tell people, I'm an understandable person.
Yeah.
So you just can't, just like me if I was at Georgia, instead of Georgia and the freshman's trying to come in. You can't just come in and just do what you want to do. You can't come in and just try to be a leader. You can work at it. You got to gain your teammates' trust to do it. So that's all I'm doing. Like you said, I'm taking it slow. Trying to earn my teammates' respect. I'm trying to learn everybody. You can't just come in and, you can't just come in and get the leadership spot. You got to earn it.
That's good.
No more questions?
Thank you.
Just absorbing everything he's teaching me, going into spring ball, playing everything I know, playing my technique, staying in my playbook.
There's a lot of experience, depth ahead of you guys returning. Does that affect your mindset at all when you come into this situation?
Oh, it's great. They pour their knowledge into me, so it helps me advance even faster.
Lindsay Goff with WKYT. Has anybody taken you under their wing a little bit? And what's been the biggest adjustment for you so far?
All the guys have. It's been a great adjustment. It's been really easy. Hasn't been hard at all.
We've seen so much with kind of learned more about you through social media. What makes you do that so much, and just sharing what you're doing day to day?
Just the inspiration to the younger kids, because I wasn't always this size. I was the last one. I was a scrawny kid, the small kid. Had the height, didn't have the size. Just showing as long as you got that consistent hard work, you can do anything.
Brian, Amor said you stayed here for spring break. Why did you make that decision? What did you just walk us through that decision-making process?
On me coming to the UK?
No, just you said you stayed here for spring break and you wanted to work.
Yes, sir.
Compliment your work ethic. Why did you want to stay here for spring break and keep working?
To continue to work on my craft, get in my playbook, stay with the coaches, get in the film room, just elevate myself.
And do you feel like adjusting and learning the playbook, is that coming easy to you, or has that been more of a challenge coming from high school?
It's been easy as long as you stay consistent.
Your recruitment was one that got a bunch of attention, kind of seemed to go different ways at various points. What was it about Kentucky that put them over the top?
Just family. I mean, being from Youngstown, Ohio. You got Coach Stoops, you got Merrill. I mean, you got the guys. So I'm not just like another kid on the team. It was like family. And then Coach Stu is a great coach as well, and I knew he could develop me.
All right, that's good.
Thank you.
All right.
So have a good one.